It is now time for Ring the Bell Radio, a wrestling podcast.
It's the most erotic thing I've ever seen.
Step one, we are recording.
Yes, step one, we are recording. Hello,
Step two,
everybody.
we are here.
Do the intro.
What are we, trained seals? Do the intro?
Yeah, I know.
Seriously.
I've got all these instructions that JD gave me. They're hilarious. All right,
Well,
let me do the intro.
Why don't we just say that's the intro?
Yeah, that's the intro. This is Ring the Bell Radio, a wrestling podcast. Welcome. We are back. There's some explanation needs to be done. We get to that in a second. I, of course, am King Logan. Hello, once again, my magnanimous and amazing listeners. With me today is the other cohort in this wrestling podcast, and that is DJ Barris.
Yeah, we are the war dogs of this show.
Yeah,
Just
damn right.
keep marching.
We're the survivors.
Oh, God.
All right, so let's go over this quickly. So we haven't been on for a while, and there has been a lot of real life stuff that people have, been caught up with. And yeah, so anyway, I got back, and it's pretty much JD's turn to take a vacation for a while. And he left a little note here for us. When he sent me this, he was like, I'm going to write something. Can you read it to the listeners? And I was like, yeah, man, sure. That's cool. And he's like, okay, good. And then half an hour later, I got a novel. Like this is like someone's eulogy.
You are charging him like when you get paid to do your readovers, your magnificent readovers, by the way.
Yeah. So thank you very much, sir.
Oh, you're welcome.
So yeah, we're sending him a bill for this. But anyway, this is from JD for our long-time listeners. Here we go. So hello to all you wonderful listeners of our podcast. JD here. You might have been wondering where the show has been the last few months. Well, as we have always said on the show, when life happens, that always takes priority over the show. I'm only speaking for myself here, but this don't even make sense. Can't use proper grammar. I'm only speaking for myself here, but there have been some things that needed my attention and had to make the difficult decision. That's just bad writing, JD. All right, take care of Life Matters or the show. Life Matters and family come first. I'm sure the gang will agree and can speak for themselves on this matter. Since 2010, being a co-founder of this show, I've had the pleasure of interviewing many wrestlers from my youth that I grew up watching on TV. And I've enjoyed every minute of it. The conversations with Jake the Snake, Jim Powers, Cherry, Barry Halowitz, just to name a few, will always be etched in my memory. We can't forget about King Logan learning the true meaning of a lumberjack match. Barris falling asleep on air. Matt walking out after Logan called in and made the late Paul Bearer angry. Logan and Barris learning about the juicer. And we can't forget the time, and Barris will know what I'm talking about, when we took on the Joseph von Schmidt and his von Schmidt Nation. You can't put your finger on it, but it was with all of us. There was just something there. We enjoyed talking and laughing about pro wrestling. As I get ready to wrap up, Jesus Christ. All right, as I get ready to wrap up, I want to address one more thing to all the listeners of the podcast. You will be in the great hands with King Logan and DJ Barris. I have no doubt at all they will carry on the tradition of Ring the Bell Radio by bringing you great conversations as they passionately discuss their love of pro wrestling, as long as it's not WrestleMania 11.
Best ever.
Yeah, let me leave you with this. This isn't goodbye. This is see you later. So we're JD has done the show for like nearly 14 odd years, I think, something like that. 12, 15 years. And there's been some gaps, obviously, because life happens. JD years ago got married, started family, kids. Same thing with me. My kids were growing up on and off, so he's been around for a long time, and he deserves a little break. So we're going to give it to him. We're gonna try and swing it with the two of us, get some other interviews in here, so on and so forth, and give you the same product as what we've always delivered, which is something semi-serious, funny, introspective about wrestling and our absolute love for it. And I know JD still has that passion inside, so we're going to keep the chair open for you, buddy. And when you're ready to come back, the microphone is waiting for you.
Right, and the credit card bills.
Dude, I nearly spat up my drink. So yeah, JD won't be around for a while, but we'll still have the same. Oh Jesus! Really, that drink came out my nose. Well, it's still have the same kind of format and the same kind of release schedule. It'll be every Friday. You'll get a new show. Maybe you'll experiment with some other shows in between. I don't know, maybe I'll do like an after Raw show by myself, or if DJ wants to come on, or whatever. We'll play around with stuff. We'll give you the product that you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually have a show coming up called Barris and Chill.
Yeah,
so do like an AM radio type show.
Cool.
Yeah, I got some guests booked already. Just got to put the Legos in order.
And we will obviously, when that's ready to roll out, we'll throw it on the Ring the Bell Radio Facebook and the Webby page or whatever it is.
Oh yeah,
when we're ready. All right, so we have a lot to cover because of technical issues with all of this stuff. We didn't get to publish our pre-Mania show.
Oh,
yeah, it's terrible. So you guys didn't get our picks, basically. So what we're going to do is we're kind of going to run through both nights, and we'll go to a match, say who we thought was going to win, say who won, and maybe give a couple of lines about each match that we thought, good, bad, or could have passed.
Okay. I can't promise I remember my original picks because it was so long. So many wrestling matches ago.
I was about to go back and listen to the show, but like I said, technical difficulties, it didn't record. I was like, what? I can't remember who the hell. I can't remember what I did yesterday, let alone who I picked for Mania matches like 3 weeks ago. Jesus.
I mean, dear God, call me Pat McAfee, man. I was, chilling in the back of the bus with Puff Puff Pass and then a couple gummies, Puff Puff Pass again. Hey, there's Paul Heyman. Like, dear God. Oh man. But yeah, that'll come later in the show. But oh my God, yeah, it was great.
So it was, if you didn't watch Mania weekend, it was interesting. It was interesting. There was some fun bits to it and some bad bits to it. So yeah, I mean, it's very weird because my thing about this Mania was how quickly the crowd changed. The ebb and flow of the crowd was crazy. I mean, like I think Triple H was in the back there, like, what? Or like it's something like it. I just didn't understand it, but. Man, it was a very weird phenomena. It was literally like Rock and Hogan match.
Yeah.
The crowd just controlled what they wanted to.
Yeah.
But let's roll straight on with it. Okay, so night one, first match, Jey Uso versus Gunther for the heavyweight championship. So I think you and I both said we wanted Jey to come out of it as the champion.
Yep.
Yeah. It was an interesting match. I like what they did with Jey actually using kind of Gunther's moves against him. That was fun. I just think the ending was so weak to do like Gunther didn't even give it more than like 4 seconds in that sleeper. Whereas we just saw him give it to Jey, for like 30 seconds or, take out several other superstars. I don't think he would have tapped. It made it feel unrealistic right at the end. I was just disappointed with that. I was happy with the 3 Uso splashes. I was happy with that. That could have been a good ending or whatever. I just thought,
it was a slow start. It was even slower middle. They started speeding it up in the end. Like you said, with the three splashes, like then he could have like rolled out a brand new finisher.
Exactly.
And then that'd have been great. And like you said, like he got the arm up under the chin and, tap, tap, tap. It's like, dude, you're the perfectionist of this. You should be able to get, hold out till you choke out. Like, because that would have been at least a little bit of retribution for Jimmy.
Yeah,
as
that would have
well.
been great. There was so many ways that match could have ended to support Jay's title run better. Like what you just said there, a new finishing move or a new move into his repertoire, which Michael Cole could have called out like, oh my God, I've seen him been trying something like this in the Performance Center. I think he calls it the Island Tweaky or something like that, and it would have been a really cool thing that people could have added into his character. Perfect time to fold it in. I was disappointed with the end.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's who we called, and now we got this ride now with everything that once we get to Monday Night Raw. Could this be better? Could this be worse? I mean, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but
okay. Next, we've got New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Wood versus the War Raiders, Eric and Ivar. So I think both of us were like, because the New Day were bad guys. I think we both took the route of old WWE thinking where the good guys come out on top at Mania. So I think we voted for the Viking Raiders, the War Raiders now. But I was shocked. I thought the match was so boring though. I mean, my problem is I really like the War Raiders as a tag team. Like Ivar is like a really good wrestler, but it was just slow and it just didn't feel like there was chemistry. And
there wasn't no emotional attachment for us, the viewer. It just wasn't there. That was the key factor for me. Like I wasn't emotionally invested. Like New Day should have been taking them out here, there, something, costing them matches here and there, like, we got you again. You think you're going to get away from us. And,
I mean, it's like, oh, you dropped me on my neck. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a wrestling move. It happens a lot. I totally agree with you saying, man. Just not enough story, not enough cohesion.
I needed the care. I just needed the care. That's all.
Yeah, and I think we both went, like I said, we both went into this match saying, I don't really care about who wins this or what's not. But I like I said, old Wrestlemania feels, good guys come out on top, not anymore. So
no.
Okay, Jade Cargill, Naomi. This was one of the highlights of Mania for me. not, I have not. Okay, so I am a 50-50 Naomi fan. Okay, I think her work from years ago is fantastic. I thought when she first came back to WWE, she was really shaky. That Elimination Chamber match that she had, Tiffany Stratton carried her, absolutely carried her in that match. There were so many mistakes that she made. So I wasn't a fan, but she, with this new kind of turnaround personality, seen a lot better stuff in the ring. I like the story. I thought this was one of her better showings, and I think this was the best kind of single solo match Jade Cargill had since she's come to WWE.
No, total agree. The thing with Naomi with me has always been not her talent. Her talent's there. Like it's beyond there. It's the same thing with the Usos when they first came up. Like I didn't care. Like again with the emotional investment. Then the Usos rolled out day one-ish, and I'm like, oh, they're beating themselves. That's them. Okay, I like them. I can relate to them. And then now with her new gimmick coming out, if you want to call it caution or whatever, but I mean, I'm willing to give her the shot now. And this feels more like her amped up. So, and I don't know if you picked up on it, but I picked up on Jade calling some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. So I'm thinking she's been working with her a lot, like on things.
And
like
you can see, I mean,
really,
they had great chemistry in the ring with each other. I mean, it was
Yep.
really good. And some of the moves that Naomi did, like that thing she did in the corner where she flipped over Jade, and that was awesome. I mean, there was some good moves in there. I thought it was just a really fun, good match. Really good match.
Yeah, I'm saying this for progression. I'm not saying this to knock her, but tell me another good Jade Cargill match you remember other than her in the Rumble.
Yeah.
And her performance there.
Yeah. I mean,
you
because
don't.
she really only had something like 4 solo matches, and then she was with Bianca.
Well, even AEW. Like, I mean, you just don't, because she wasn't comfortable enough. Like everybody else was leading her. They were covering up for her. Now she's learning.
Yeah.
And you can see the progression when you hear her call something, like everybody's like, oh, okay, that's what they do. But I mean, for her to step up on that platform and do that and have the confidence, that just shows the people that are around her, that are bringing her up, not just covering for her, but bringing her up. And I can't wait to see what she does.
I will say, I think my favorite part of this match was the power bomb, where she basically threw her, turned around and caught her, and awesome move, very well done. I can't wait for what they have in the future, because she is a top star in the making, you know. I was very happy with the match. Okay, Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
So first of all, Knight's intro was fucking awesome. It was timed to perfection. That window came down in that Bugatti or Maserati. That window went down and the music hit perfectly, and he got out. I thought it was a really good intro. So yeah, I was excited about this. I think we both gave it to Jacob Fatu in our things. Yeah, and I couldn't have been happier. It was just savage. There were some fantastic spots, and just Jacob Fatu is just a beast over and over again. I mean, it was a very cool slogfest match, and I was very happy with the result with Jacob getting that US title. It was good. I was happy with the match.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a small window of things to come. I mean, dear God. Like, I mean, I've been calling it for how long?
Yeah.
Like once he comes up, like it's like he says, all gas, all gas, no brakes.
Mhm.
And I mean, where's it going to stop? Money in the Bank now,
Mhm.
possibly. I mean, or do you wait a year now that he has the championship? Who do you work him with? I mean, dear God, he's on SmackDown. You got Drew, you got Damian. I mean, he's a tweener, so I mean, there's no one he can't work with.
Yeah.
I mean, dear God, they can just have fun. It's scary, but it should be a lot of fun to watch.
It's a very awesome wrestler. I was very happy with the match. It is up there as one of my, again, there was very few matches this Mania that I disliked.
Yeah.
Next one, El Grande Americano and Rey Fenix by pinfall. Defeated, obviously. I think we gave this to, because it was originally supposed to be Rey Mysterio. I think we both gave it to Rey.
Yeah.
But yeah, was wrong there. Awesome show between the two. Once again, just reinforces that fact of Chad Gable is one of the best wrestlers going. Just
Was he there?
Oh yeah. Sorry. No, I mean El Grande Americano is one of the greatest wrestlers going. There you go.
I mean, he has to be the reason they struck the deal with AAA.
Yeah, of course.
Who else?
I mean, we were just wrong, and we are ashamed that we did not support El Grande Americano off the bat.
Okay? Oh, I've supported him off the bat.
I didn't, so I'm shamed.
Wow.
I'm shamed.
It just got colder in here. Good thing I'm wearing my brand new Jacob Fatu zip up hoodie from WWEshop.com that just came this week.
There's a product placement for you right there.
Yeah. Now I would like the new, sun gold yellow Yeet hoodie. If anybody's listening out there, 3X would be nice. Yeah. So I stay nice and warm and toasty.
Nice and warm. Watching the cold Wrestlemanias and the SmackDowns and the Raws.
Yeah, now that they moved it to the West Coast and later in the year, like, oh, let's have it in Pennsylvania about the beginning of April when it still snows. Yeah, that'd be great. Two of your best announcers are like, we're from there, and that doesn't sound like a good idea. And then they're all crying, we're cold.
Yeah. It's like, Jesus, don't come to Pennsylvania and do an open air event. All right. It is freezing here in the winter. It's terrible.
And if everybody remembers, I showed up a week late by accident.
Yeah.
But
you got the blizzard conditions.
But anytime we go out there, we're taken care of now because I'm cool with security.
There you
Remember
go.
that.
Rock on.
Yep.
All right. It was a good match. I liked it. It was good for Grande. It was good for Phoenix. It showcased them both off. It was a fun match.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it.
Okay. Next, Tiffany Stratton defeats Charlotte Flair by pinfall.
Wow.
I was disappointed in the match. Yeah,
really?
I don't know. Just it didn't connect with me. Like, I don't know. Like, there was so many errors, like that really bad natural selection off the top rope. That was really bad. I always have this problem when Charlotte Flair comes back. Charlotte Flair comes back and she has ring rust. Okay. And I mean, yeah, they kind of fitted it with the story, but they made it more of a smack you around instead of the elegance that both of them normally fight with. Now, I mean, if there wasn't really a little bit of push there to really hit someone, but the problem is I'm so used to Tiffany and Charlotte wrestling more technically than just fisticuffs. And for me, it's, I don't know. I was disappointed in it. It was not what I expected. And my other problem is every time Charlotte Flair comes back to WWE, her face has changed. Like, I'm not sure we actually have the original Charlotte Flair from NXT. I think they're separate ladies. And I don't mean this to like bash anybody who has cosmetic surgery. Like, yo, you do you. If that's what you want in your life, cool, man. That's what you do you. But my problem is Charlotte changes. Her face changes so much. And then like even my wife was sitting there and she hasn't seen Charlotte be back on SmackDown or anything. So I was like, oh, she's fine, Charlotte. She's like, oh, Charlotte's back. I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, that's so cool. And then she was like, is that really Charlotte? And I was like, yes, it is. Every time she comes back with a different face. I don't know what it is, man. The match didn't do it for me. Just didn't do it for me.
Okay, so first off, you just Avril Lavigne'd her. That's not the real Charlotte from when she was this age.
I'm telling you, it's like a conspiracy.
Which I could totally see when I think about it. And each time she's come back, it's been a different looking Charlotte.
Yeah.
You can't lie. So, but the match itself, it was like, okay, we have a plan, let's execute. But somewhere in the middle of that first plan, they said, fuck it. And you can edit me on that one. Now that I just thought that I just said it, which I did. So apologize to any young ears out there. The DJ, didn't mean that. Said, forget it. And then they went they went shoot. And then they got back on track. They started working again. And then they just said, screw it again and started shooting. And I'm like, okay. And then next thing you know, you see Tiff like kind of smile and it's not straight like normal. It's crooked because her teeth are chipped. And holy crap.
Yeah.
And, when it was over, it was like, okay, I didn't know at that point if she was going to do business or not. I had no idea.
Like I said, it was a strange match to watch.
Yeah.
And it didn't fit with me. I was just disappointed with it.
It was Alice in Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know where it was going, when it was going. So and it was unfortunate that, her teeth got messed up. But I mean, I think they did an interview with Ludwig and he was like, I am so proud of her for standing up for herself during all of this. And you know what? If that's what she got out of it, good.
Yeah, go for it.
She needs, not, you don't deserve it, but I mean, like you look back on stuff, someone who's a little hard on me on things, like I don't think bad of them to this day. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, well, they gave a damn to actually, tell me the truth or something, or they knew putting me through something would at least benefit me. Mm-hmm. So I hope she got that out of it and she just keeps going because it's Tiffy time.
It is Tiffy time indeed. All right. Main event of night one. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. Now, this I think was, first of all, Roman Reigns' intro was amazing. Okay, it was just, there was no like super pizzazz with it. He just walked down, did his fart thing, and like behind him, these gigantic screens slid down the aisle, and each one of them had a different member of the wrestling family, basically from their bloodline, and it was just so cool. That the cinematography of Mania was really good, and how they like captured things and people. It was very well done. The match itself was awesome. I know I get enthusiastic about matches and I'm like, oh, that's the best match I've ever seen. But no, this was like up there with some of the best Mania matches ever. There was just spears, there was stomps, there was so many GTSs I lost track. There was just great moments. Like the ending was supremely good. The twist ending was amazing. Obviously, Paul Heyman gets involved, gets a chair. Roman's down. CM Punk's down. Who's he going to slide the chair to? He slides it to Punk. My wife screams, "Yay!" I'm like, boo, because you see Roman's face, and it is heartbreaking. It is a man who literally has just lost his best friend in the world. When Paul Heyman's in that ring looking at Roman, and Roman's face just drops. It was so satisfying from a story perspective. Like Roman really understands that above all of his bravo, he really does love Paul Heyman, and it's just like the ultimate betrayal. And then obviously Paul goes down and low blows CM Punk, and again the look on Reigns' face was just like polar opposite. It's Christmas, and my mum and dad just got me the new Nintendo with the new Mario game. It was just so good. And then again, Roman goes to hit Seth Rollins, and another low blow, this time a quadruple one where he just keeps on ramming his hand around Roman's crotch. It was amazing. And then just like I said, the story aspect for it, just Seth Rollins taking a step back from the ropes and just putting his hand out, and Paul giving him the chair. They don't even look at each other. It was so well done. It was so shocking. I was just like, it was everything I wanted in a wrestling match. It was great entrances, a lot of pizzazz. It was amazing wrestling in the actual ring itself. Close calls, and then a massive twist ending that made sense but didn't make sense. You know, it was everything I wanted for a WrestleMania. It was literally like Cody finishing the story. It was that cinematic of a match. So happy with it.
Right. No, they worked their asses off. They put together one hell of a match. They worked through it. Everybody brought the best of everybody out. And yeah, no, they were down to get it done, and they more than got it done. I called the ending, hook, line, sinker. I'm like, yep, knew that was coming. And one of the jobs that I have, this kid came in and he was like, "So how you think it's gonna end?" And I go, "Yep, Seth's gonna end up with Paul." And he's like, "Yeah, right." And I go, "Come back next week and tell me I'm wrong." And so I'm waiting. I'm like, "Yeah, come on, kid," because I told you 1,000. And yeah, no, I mean, it was a great way to go out. It left the cliffhanger, and you're gonna want to tune in from this point out to see what happens now.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, did they bring it. So that's all I'm gonna say right now. But great ending to night one.
I agree. Overall, even though there was like 2 matches that I really didn't care about, I still thought it was a fantastic night one. Really, really well done. Really well done.
I'm gonna say 4 out of 5.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna give it 4 Dirty Dominic Mysterio mustaches out of 5 as well. All right, night 2. Let's go. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. Io comes out on top, walks out with a championship again. So, yeah, I thought it was a great match. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I thought about a quarter of the way into the match, and it wasn't a long match. It was only like 15 minutes long. But about the 5-minute mark, I turned to my wife and I was like, Io's going to win this. And she was like, how'd you work that out? I was like, so far, Io has done just amazing moves. She is completely showcasing her appeal as a high flyer, as a technical wrestler. She's, even though you're more concentrated in Rhea and Bianca, watch every time Io gets back in the ring what she does. I was like, she will shine for like a minute or 2 minutes, and then one of the other girls will push her out of the ring again or something. And yeah, by like near the end of the match, I was like, yeah, there is no way Io is not winning this. And the ending I thought was so perfectly timed with that bounce on Rhea and then that roll up into Belair. A fantastic match. And I love the storyline aspect of it, as you know, for weeks now, Io has been like, yeah, whatever, get out of it. It's between Rhea and Bianca kind of thing. And she proved once again that she's a big threat. Big threat.
Yeah, no, she's been a threat since she was in NXT. I mean, she was one of the OGs, you know, the black and gold era, that made me want to watch NXT back then, made me watch the pay-per-views back then. You know, that's, you know, genius of the sky. It's where she got it. And for her to go out there and to keep it at Mania, like that just shows how much they're invested in her, which is great. Because I mean, who can't she work with?
Yeah, I mean, just fantastic. Fantastic match. Yeah. Pretty much up there with one of the best matches of the weekend.
Yeah, no, there was a way to go out the night before and a way to go in that next day. That was the way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was one hell of a bridge.
That's like JD and I would always say to each other that, you know, that first match sets the tone for Mania. And with Jane Gunther, it was a good match. It set a good tone for Mania. This one blew the lid off of it. And it really set the day, the scene for day two. Next, Biscuits versus Bisexual Undertaker. Or Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight. You know what? This was one of those matches where somebody at back went, hey, what about if Drew and Damian just beat each other up like constantly for like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes? How does that sound? And they're like, yeah, whatever, just do it. And it worked. It was so good. It was just extreme violence. And I just love Drew McIntyre, how crazy he is in the ring. And yeah, stopping them. He didn't even stop the match. He beat Damian Priest outside of the ring, went and got the phone off his brother. The first text was, I'm bored at work. The second text was a selfie of him and Damian Priest laying on the floor saying, LOL, still bored at work. It was amazing. Just it was a fun match to watch. Not next level wrestling or anything like that, but a really fun match against two big dudes just beating the crap out of each other.
No, I mean, first off, shout out to my nephew, because my Christmas present from him was an autographed picture of Drew McIntyre for Christmas this past year. And yeah, I'm a Drew McIntyre fan through and through, and he just cracks me up. Like, he's hilarious, but he's brutal.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you forgot about it, but my friend who I was watching Mania with forgot about the tables on the outside when he threw him out of the ring.
You know,
he jumped up like, holy shit. And I'm like, what, the tables? He's like, oh, the tables are there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah.
My wife actually went, where did those tables come from? I was like, they set them up like 5 minutes ago and they were never used. So
I looked at him. I said, who's the stoner here? It's me. Like, I remember the tables. How'd you forget?
Another good match is a fun match. I highly recommend it.
What about that ending? That Claymore into that chair.
I don't know how Damien like got up and walked away from that, because like legitimately it looked like it cracked him straight in the head.
Right. I give them great kudos on that one, because it looked brutal, it felt brutal, and They went out there and they killed it.
Yeah, fun match. I really highly suggest that one. Now, the best match of all of the Manias combined, and that is Dominic Mysterio versus Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor versus Penta. I wanna literally, really get into this, because this is what I said at the beginning, how the crowd ebbed and flowed and really controlled the matches. Okay. So when Dom came out, he probably got the biggest pop of his career. People were loving him. I mean, absolutely loving him for it. And I was in it as well. I love Dominic Mysterio. He's such a great character story. I bitch about him sometimes, but really he has come into his own. Like literally the whole, I think I'm badass, but I really want my chicken tendies. It just works so well. And he is the ultimate opportunist. So this match was a great showcase for pretty much everyone but Finn Balor. Okay. Finn really was like the anchor of the match. He didn't need to come in and do flashy stuff. Finn was there as the legitimate star. Braun Breaker really, really showed off such a good presence in that match. Really showcased his strength, his speed and agility. And I'm not a Braun Breaker fan, but that really made me step back a little bit and say, okay, I'm not a Braun Breaker fan because I didn't like the stories he was involved in. I just wanted, I didn't.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know of any stories.
Well, I mean, like the ones previous coming up to this, where like he was challenging everyone and he was just acting like a total dick. Yeah, like this went on when he first came to WWE. That was his story angle, that he would just go up to people and be like, "Oh, I'll beat you up," and it was just lame. But this really, I mean, he is a good wrestler. Really is a good wrestler, great athlete in the ring. I just didn't like his storyline aspects. This really blew it out of the water for me, because he was just there to hurt people and hurt them a lot. And he did. And it was great. And it worked really well with Penta's, luchador quick styles, reversals. It just worked really well. And then Dom would just come in, do two things, and get out the ring again. And everyone, the minute he came into the ring, the crowd went berserk, absolutely berserk. And then at the end, one of the best finishes I've ever seen. First of all, him hitting that 619 on Breaker. Again, the crowd just pops like crazy. When Finn Balor finally does a coup de grace and then lays on top, rolls the leg with his back on them, and Dom just appears in the camera angle and just lands on him. The whole stadium erupted. I erupted. I literally jumped out of my chair, and I have a bad hip. It was painful, but Dom deserved my pain. It was great. What an ending. 1, 2, 3. Dominic Mysterio, now the greatest intercontinental champion in all of wrestling. Doesn't matter which company, Dom's there. And even the after interview on the post show outside, the whole crowd behind him was like, Dom, like just. He's sitting there like, "Oh, what's in it for you tonight?" Well, chicken tendies. Everyone behind him goes nuts. Dirty Dom. So good. Good match, a fun match, great ending.
How about when he ran back and the look on Finn's face, like, "What are you doing?" And I mean, he just knew. He was like, "This is my moment. Like,
Yep.
I may never get this again."
I loved it. I was like, just everyone just screaming for Dominic. It just
Yeah.
was a mind blown situation. And then even fast forward, I know we'll get into it very briefly, but Raw the next night, the crowd was still super hot for Dom. It was
Yeah.
very fun match to watch.
Yep.
Okay, next. Randy Orton versus question mark. Who is this mystery wrestler that he is about to take on? Who's going to defeat the Viper? Who's going to taste an RKO? Well, if you say his name,
Yep.
say his name. I believe in Joe Hendry. What a fun squash match. Absolute. When I saw that, my wife's like, "Who's that?" And I turned to her and I was like, "Say his name." She's like, "What?" I was like, "Joe Hendry, he was at the Rumble, remember?" I don't remember who was in the Rumble. I just remember who won it. I was like, Jesus. I was like, he's like the TNA World Champion. This is like, like they did with the other lady in the Women's Rumble, Gwen, can't remember her name.
Jordan Grace.
Thank you, Jordan Grace. Now she's in NXT doing stuff. I mean, they have like a good work relation. This is like the ultimate rub that you could give John Henry. It doesn't matter if, Joe Henry. It doesn't matter, John Henry. Jesus. It doesn't matter if he goes in there and he loses within 3 minutes. It doesn't matter. What matters is he got in a ring with Randy Orton and for like 30 seconds controlled the match. And Randy's face of like, what? Who is this dude? Like, I thought we would just take him out one hit. And of course, the best parts of the match were where he did his catchphrase pose, where he waves his arms up. And WWE did it so perfectly well, where he turns and they just zoomed in on his face really quick and his big cheesy smile. So great. And then the second time he does it, Randy RKO's him right in the middle of it. I lost my shit. I was laughing like crazy. It was so good. So good. Such a good rub match. And yeah, it was fun and funny without being stupid. It was a very good match, in my opinion.
I mean, imagine, being in TNA, getting noticed, your song going like top charting, and then all of a sudden you're at the Rumble, and then, actually you're in NXT, then you're in the Rumble, now you're at Mania with Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy crap. Like, and they said it best. Triple H told him, like, this isn't going to be your first, like, last time here, but this is the time to go out and enjoy it, because this
it
is
gets
going to be
harder from here. Yeah.
It's going to be more nerve-wracking from here on out, bro. Like, he's like, I'm just shooting with you, and go out and enjoy it. And it looks like he did, because even Orton gave him like the pat on the stomach on the way over. Yep. And I mean, that's honestly, if you think back to young Orton to now, that's growth. Like,
it's funny you saying that, because
the
Hall of Fame, Triple H commented on Randy being such a pain in the ass, but it really got Triple H involved in giving back to people, to elevating other people. And there's a camera shot of Randy, and he's doing this with his finger, like, it comes around, I do it now too, and I thought that was just so great. And yet you are so right. I mean, just a legend. I was so happy for Joe. I was so happy that it was him. Very good match. Highly watch it. Next, Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. I have to say this was my most disappointing match of the whole 2 days. And not for the reasons that you probably think. My disappointment in this was with AJ Styles. The first, I don't know, 8 minutes or so, it was, match of them going through and so over. After that, if you watch it, and I watched the match 3 times just to make sure that I wasn't being biased or anything like that. But honestly, it gets to about the halfway point in the match, and AJ just looks exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. He screws up one move. And then Logan Paul was on point the whole thing. Like, amazing. I've said this before. I hate Logan Paul. He is a fantastic wrestler. Hands down. It doesn't matter what you think about him in real life. When he steps in that ring, he is an amazing, world-class athlete. The shit that he does is insane, that you've got legacy wrestlers that wouldn't even touch those moves. And he does them hands down, and he executes great all the time. I was just disappointed with Styles because it really showed Styles' the age difference. AJ is a phenomenal wrestler, but he is getting on in his years. And to put him up against someone like Logan Paul, who is, looked literally twice as fast, twice as athletic as him, it really downgraded AJ on how he looked in the ring. And it made Logan look amazing. But yeah, it was really disappointing for me because the last 6-7 minutes were I'm just like, poor AJ. You could tell he's winded. He needs to take a break here. And Logan Paul's just bouncing around the ring. It was crazy. So I was disappointed in it. It is a good match for a Logan Paul match, because Logan Paul really nails it, down that he is a threat. He is here to stay, and he is a damn good wrestler.
Yeah, no, I mean, he went out there and showed it again. I think the one cool thing is they kept up with the Karrion Kross angle.
That was cool as well. I really enjoyed that bit at the end.
Yeah, and then he was on something with who was it? Not Sam Wrestling or something like that. Yeah. And he did I don't know, work shoot. And he was like, F all, you guys in the back, that's from Killer Cross. And so I'm like, okay, do you let him go back to that now? Or what do you do now? Please give me something with this guy. When he was in NXT and he was going until they brought him up to the main roster and they made him Gimpy Shredder or Bane or whatever you want to call him.
Then Time Lord.
Yeah.
It was a Time Lord guy. He could see the future or something. I'd never liked Karrion Kross. They ruined him when he came to WWE. I've seen his work in NXT, and it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal story build up for the character as well. It just seemed like they misfired with him so many times with stuff, and now they're just like, just be you, I guess. Just walk around as you, and there you go. I don't know. Yeah. I liked it because they carried it on to Raw on the next night as well, and that was cool because that allowed AJ to really finish his heel stage with, if I would have taken those knocks, it wouldn't have been worth anything. I don't want to be that guy again. That guy sucked. I want to be me. I want to be happy. And it was a good end cap to his story. So, I mean, Karrion Kross, please, let's do something with him. Something good. All right.
Right.
All right. Next one. Laura Valkyria, Becky Lynch, She was the question mark, because Bailey got hurt. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So yeah, I was like, I wasn't really too into this match going into it, and I read the card. And then, but when it was like, oh, it's a mystery opponent, I'm like, okay, I can see a mystery opponent. And then I sat down, and my wife went, I bet you it's Becky Lynch. And I was like, no, Becky Lynch is like off. She's looking after Rue. Oh, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm wrong. After the post show afterwards, she just brings Rue along to the interview. Like, it was so cute. It really was. It was a fun match. It wasn't anything special. This could have been like the only reason this was a big match was because Becky Lynch came back. Apart from that, this could have been a Raw match. This could have been a SmackDown match. Yeah, it wasn't really it. I mean, they walked away with it, and I mean, Lara now gets the name Two Belt, which Becky had. Two Belt Becky, now got Two Belt Lara. And then the next night, it all went horribly wrong. But we'll talk about that in 2 seconds. Yeah. Last match of the night, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. First of all, John Cena's entrance was amazing. Everything just black, all the lights out, just John Cena in big white words. That's it. It was phenomenal. It was the biggest FU to the fans that Cena could have done in a visual package like that. It was so good. And then Cody comes out, gets a massive pop, and then the crowd just turns, just absolutely turns. They want Cena to win. And the match was passable, I want to say. John Cena actually did some wrestling moves, which was cool. I like that. The better thing was his interaction with the fans. You know, that was fantastic. The ending I thought was a little weak. You know, Cody won't smack him in the face with the belt because, you know, he's better than that. And then, you know, John Cena low blows him. And yeah, that's it. Yeah. Travis Scott, get out. Like please, it would have made more sense if The Rock came out and did that to the referee or something. You know, no. That there, like, the match wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was a fun, like, interaction match. You know, you really get interactive with this kind of match where the crowd is really behind someone, and you get kind of swept up in it. And by the end, I was chanting for Cena as well, which, you know, my wife hit me because she's a Cody Rhodes only gal. All right, that's her next husband apparently when I die. And I said, well, darling, he's already married. And she went, not for long. Take that as you will, okay? But yeah, I knew Cena was going to walk out there with a belt when I heard the crowd go nuts like that. And yeah, I feel devastated that we lose Cody for a little bit, but you know, it's going to give Cody a comeback story. You know, let him chase up the ladder again. There's only so much you can peak and keep it, and it's really hard for baby faces to peak like that. I mean, you're talking people like Hogan in the early, like, mid 80s, very before he goes to WCW. There is a fatigue when it comes to baby faces more than it comes to villains. We did 4 years of Roman Reigns, and yeah, it was fatiguing at some points, but it grew into its own thing. It grew into the bloodline. It grew into literally a cultural phenomenon. You know, I could probably stand in the middle of Walmart and put my one up and somebody would return it to me. So yeah, Cody's too special to fall into that. They need to use him like the golden bullet. Like if ratings start to drop or things like that, you can fire a Cody back at the title and go from there. But I think it was just phenomenal. There's a phenomenal story, how it played out. Great twist. I loved it. It wasn't a great match, but yeah, I mean, the ending was a bit but John Cena, just how he interacts with the fan base is just, his character was made for this. It was made for this heel turn. And I'm so disappointed that we couldn't have had that 10 years ago. You know?
Yeah. I mean, Cody deserved it coming out with that stupid mask on again. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but it was the Iron Man version of it. It like
I
flipped up
know.
automatically. It was instantly cool.
No, I never liked that one. He looks like a walking Funko Pop.
It is a bit big on him, isn't it? It
A
does
little
look a bit
bit.
big.
So, I mean, the match was just a slowed down Cena match to me. It was just slowed down to make it more heelish. And then Travis Scott comes out, and I'm like, well, I want to go home already. And like before that, what Cardi B is going to be at SummerSlam? Can we keep horrible music out of WWE? For the love of God, just keep it out.
I said this the last time, the last pay-per-view, the Rumble, and I actually put it on my Facebook post, and I said, I feel old because I know none of these rappers here. But every single person they went through, I had no idea who they were.
Yeah, let's see what he does with it now. I mean, and yeah, now we go into Raw after Mania.
First of all, what did you think of night 2?
Night 2, pretty good. I give it another 3 3/4 to 4 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it 3.5. Dirty Dominic
Okay.
Mysterio moustaches. That half point comes from Dom winning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, simple. Disappointed in a couple of matches, but all in all, yeah, a solid Wrestlemania package. Let's move on to Raw real quickly. Last night, we'll just end the show with Raw. So Raw after Mania has always been, one of the big things to watch as well. The whole kind of SmackDown, Hall of Fame, night 1, night 2 Mania package. Yeah, Raw was really good. There was some really good stuff that happened in Raw. John Cena came out and bitch slapped the entire WWE universe. It was great. I swear the crowd were not chanting, "We aren't sorry." I swear they were chanting, "We are sorry." And I was
Right.
like, I swear they're saying, "We are sorry." Like, we're sorry, man. Like, come on, do the fun Cena stuff again. And he was having none of it. Absolutely none of it. Again, it was so great. And then the last 8 seconds after his whole waffle speech, Randy Orton comes out and RKO's him. It was the perfect kind of ending to the Cena's rant speech. Like, bitch, I'm Randy Orton. No, I'm going to bitch slap you for that belt now. Very fun. There was a couple of matches on. Lyra Valkyria, Becky Lynch versus Liv and Raquel. Opposite kind of thing. Liv and Raquel won the tag team titles back. And then, yeah, my wife, who turns around and says, I bet you Becky's going to turn heel and she's going to be with Seth and Paul Heyman. I was like, okay, that would incorporate a woman into their group and that would make sense. So well done, darling. I'm going to have to start putting you on the show with us. But yeah, it was Becky turns heel, beats up Valkyria. That's it.
Right. I mean, go from having your kid on the post show and stealing the world's hearts the night before.
Yeah.
Mommy, I want to try it again.
Guys, so
Hi,
cute.
hi, everybody. And it's just like, like you little munchkin.
She's like,
And then mommy going full heel and whooping ass the next night because,
yep.
bitch, you lost our titles like in one day. Like, yeah, no, like, holy crap. I loved it. Every second of it. She
It was
totally deserved it.
it was very, very good. Very
Yep.
good. I think the highlight of the night though was Gunther.
Yep. That was awesome.
Yeah, Gunther came out of nowhere because there was a break there. Even Netflix should get ad breaks. And then when it went back, he's literally just shouting at Michael Cole. Like, you got something to say to me? Then say it to me. Say it now. Michael Cole's like, okay, look, gets up and he's like, look, I'm just doing my job. I'm just calling it how I said. Well, say what you gotta say. And he's like, listen, I'm not the one who tapped out, okay? I was like, oh, sick burn. And then Gunther chokes him out. Okay, pushes Pat McAfee out of the way, starts a sleeper on Michael Cole. Pat McAfee does a beautiful Superman punch straight out of Roman Reigns' playbook. He flew across the screen to save Michael. It was very, very dramatic. Hit Gunther, and Gunther lets go of Michael because, Michael's old and we don't want to rough him up too much. McAfee's young. Let's choke the shit out of him. So, yeah, Gunther applies the sleeper, and legitimately, he's not choking McAfee, but if you can get a sleeper in a right position around someone's face, you can kind of like squeeze their face, and it makes their face really turn red. They kind of push back in against it as well, and it really puffs up your face red, but you're not losing conscious or anything like that. It's just those capillaries opening. And Pat did it really well. I think Gunther actually like squeezed a little bit in there just to, add a little poke in. It was pretty good. They get Gunther off. The thing that gets me is like all these people are fighting security in the background. And my wife's like, who are those guys? Did they just jump over the barrier? Are they trying to help? Like Pat McAfee? I was like, I think that's like his guys from the show. I never watch his show, unfortunately. But yeah, I think that's his guys from the show. And, they're trying to get to help him out. It was good. Pat went off, got out to the back and everything. And Michael Cole's out there. And then there's this really cheesy, dramatic skit that happens, which was just amazing, where Adam Pearce is like, Michael, go home. And Michael Cole's like, no, I will not be bullied by a bully. And it was just awesome. He came out back to the ring and everyone's chanting, Michael Cole, Michael Cole. It was so cute. The whole segment was just so much fun to watch. Very happy with it. Jay came out, gave his thank you speech. Sammy came out. Oh, there's tension. Is Sammy going to go for the belt? No, I'm there because you're my brother, Sammy Uso. Here comes Jimmy. That's all hugging the ring. It was very nice to see. It was very cool. Not really much. Anything else you want to comment on Raw?
Io and Stephanie Valkyrie was pretty good.
Yes. I can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Stephanie Valkyrie from NXT. She's the NXT women's champion, right?
Oh, very, very, very beyond gorgeous. Yes.
Yeah, she is very pleasant to look at. Let me just say that. She came down to basically challenge Io. Like, hey, look, it was very cool, like two baby faces getting at each other. Like, listen, I'm here because I respect you. You're world champion. I want to fight the best. Do you want to fight? And Io's like, yes, do it. And it was a good match. It really showcased, a lot of their moves. Really showcased Vasquez off to everybody, like to that audience of WWE now. Very happy with the match. I thought it was great. My wife even commented that she thought that girl was really cool. There was a bit of an ending where, two other girls from, it was Rachel Perez. Is that it?
I want to say Roxanne Perez and Julia.
Yeah. But they came out, interrupted the match, beat EO and Vasquez, beat them up a little bit, and then out comes Rhea Ripley because you can't have a Raw after Mania without Rhea turning up because you got to have that pop. You got to do it. Yeah, and so she came out and has a absolutely gorgeous black eye. Yeah, there's like makeup on one of her eyes, and the whole other eye is just nothing because it's just black. Like it was good, but it made no sense. Like it would have made sense if she went over to EO and like like got her up and said shit like that, and I respect you too. I thought you was like I didn't realize how good you were, and for that I'm sorry. I want to fight again, and this time I want to give it my all because you showed me you're that good. Something like that could have come out of it, but it was like, I'm coming for that. Bye.
Right.
I'm like, come on, dude. You don't have Rhea come out for like a minute. I want Rhea in 5-minute packages, okay? Where she gets in the ring and just says stuff. She can say whatever she likes. Just stand there and say stuff, all right?
Right.
Woman's amazing. But yeah, I mean, there was one last thing I'm going to say about the Mania weekend, which was very, I think, was the highlight of the weekend, and that was Stone Cold Steve Austin driving down on an ATV to the ring, driving around it, losing control, hitting the barrier, and hitting a woman. It was absolutely phenomenal. And then they gave him beers. I'm like, don't give that man beers. He can't even drive an ATV as it is. He killed someone. Don't get him more drunk. Jesus. And it was funny because like afterwards, when he gets out of the ring and he goes to run away, he goes over to the lady and says something to her and then turns and leaves. But Nick Khan is standing right there talking to that person. Like, don't sue us, please. I swear Stone Cold will meet you after Mania. He'll take you out for lunch. Like, he'll be the father of your next child, okay? Don't sue us, please. So, yeah, it was fun. There was several little mistakes throughout Mania as well. Survivor Series logo. That came up quite a few times. Yeah, have a look. If you could catch the undocumented one, because WWE are going to go straight through and change everything. But you can find these things on YouTube as well. The Survivor Series logo was used like 3 or 4 times. It flashed up, and yeah, it was placements. Jey Uso was challengers. Yeah, that's what it came up as. It just came up as Jey Uso challengers. And yeah, I think that was the one for the tag team challengers, but wrong graphic as well. There were little wrong graphics, or there was one shot of the other side of the stadium and it looked bare. It looked completely bare. They had some of the seats covered up and everything. In the War Raiders match as well, there was like an angle from the non-television side. And basically when that match started, the angle was really high and you just saw everyone getting up and just leaving. It was like pee break time or go get tacos or something like that. But yeah, there was some sound issues as well. just niggly little things. But yeah, I mean, all in all, a really good Mania. Not as good as last year. Not as good as last year. But I don't know. I think anything's ever going to top the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns finish the story fight. But it was a really good Mania. It is well worth your time watching it. I'm going to give it for the whole SmackDown Hall of Fame. Watch the Hall of Fame. It was okay. I mean, Triple H's speech was long. It was cool. Undertaker, like this is what happens when you don't have the Hall of Fame in front of fans, because the crowd was very subdued. Like hardly any laughing, clapping at jokes, things like that. Whereas if you put it to last year's Hall of Fame, you had a stadium of people there, like cheering on Paul Heyman. You know, it worked better. They seemed very subdued, but Triple H did do a good speech. Did mention Vince McMahon, rightly so. Like I said, you can't talk about WWE or any kind of wrestling in America without giving props to Vince McMahon's business model, how he did things. Now, is he ethically? Was that ethical? No. But we have the product now because of Vince McMahon. And how it got there is sometimes terrible, and Vince is not a nice person. But we got there, and that's because of Vince. And I agree with Triple H as well. You can't, it's complicated. I don't want to seem like I'm forgiving him for his sins or anything like that, because I'm not, but it's complicated. You can't ever talk about WWE without talking about Vince McMahon. Here's what it is.
Yep. The only other thing for Raw after was the return of the Irish Ace, JD McDonough, and which I just got my JD McDonough shirt off www.shop.com.
Yep. Now, those are two things I'm totally skipping out. Rusev came back.
Yep.
And basically
on Rusev Day.
Yeah,
on Rusev Day.
It was great. It was great. The crowd loved it. He beat people up and screamed a lot. It was fun.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, there was another IC title belt against Panther, Dom versus Panther. And JD McDonough came in for the saved Dom. And it's funny because the minute I saw him, I was like, oh, JD, Barris just got one of his t-shirts the other day. I was like, yeah, he's back. Yay.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a good Raw after Mania. It was quite fun. I highly recommend the whole package from SmackDown. You know, give the Hall of Fame pass if you ain't interested in that kind of stuff. But definitely SmackDown, day 1, day 2, Raw after Mania.
Yeah, we got SmackDown coming this week too, so we gotta see what's coming up.
It's an evolving, very good evolving thing. So yeah, there we go. All right, we've done it. We covered both days, and SmackDown. Well, not really SmackDown, but we did Raw. We did the important ones. We're good. We did well.
Well, we didn't mention the possible new Dangerous Alliance. With, Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker now.
Again, I'm just totally skipping over everything on Raw. Jeez, yes. Paul Heyman comes out with Seth Rollins. We're going to learn what's going on. Then CM Punk comes out. And then there's fighting. And then Roman Reigns comes out. And then there's more fighting. And then everyone's fighting. And then Braun Breaker comes out and busts everyone up, which was awesome. And then literally, like, the way it was done with Seth Rollins going over, grabbing him by the face, and he's like, get him in here, break him. It's just like great. It's fantastic. So, yeah, it was good. So now we've got an alliance of Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and if my wife is correct, we're looking at Becky Lynch. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see in time. We'll see you in time. Okay, it has been an extra long episode, guys. Thanks for bearing with us for the whole thing. I know it's been a while. I hope this gives you a breakdown of how what we thought about Mania. Do you agree? Do you not agree? Throw it in the comments and all that jazz. And anything you want to say, DJ?
Hey, let's see where we go from here.
All right. You can give us an email at ringthebellradio@gmail.com. You can also look for us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm not calling it X. And even an Instagram or something. You know, we're on everything. Shows will be out Fridays. So look for us then. As always, get in touch with us if you have a question, if you have a comment. We like to read them on air. If there's nothing else, check out our previous episodes at ringthebellradio.com. And we will see you next time. Have a good one.
All right. Later, guys. Dun, dun, dun.
Done. In the bag.
Yep.